Good morning. I'm Pratap Singh Gaikwad and welcome to another episode of the Buggy Khana. This morning we're at the World Trade Center as part of the VCCI event. This is an annual event held in Mumbai where all car lovers come together. So Nishant, morning. Thank you for having us here
Thank you very much.
for this annual event of yours. So big turnout this year.
Absolutely, we have a fantastic turnout of 150 cars,
Right.
and more than 100 vintage motorcycles.
Correct. And in the heart of the city, so it's quite a treat for everybody to be here. And I also heard that you had a large number of people that turned up yesterday.
Here we had more than 35,000 people yesterday. There are too many festivals going on, and it's a long weekend.
Yeah, yeah.
So the response has been fantastic.
Wow.
And with social media and everybody talking about the show,
Right.
you see more and more people coming
Yeah.
and witnessing such a historical event.
It's also testament to the car culture in India now, I think.
Absolutely.
It's growing. And, you're seeing it in all these different segments. And again, here you have the pre-war cars, you have classic cars, you have motorbikes, you have a couple of modern cars as well. So again, something for everybody to come and, feast their eyes on.
Absolutely, it's owner's delight, and we all love. The cars are being appreciated. People come and witness a show like this, and in huge response. We have more than 3,000 children coming here today for the show. So it's just amazing. It's a great weekend for all,
Yeah.
for the car owners,
Correct.
for the visitors, and we're all enjoying this
Absolutely.
weekend.
I think another special mark for this event is the drive that we are about to head off on.
That's right. We are heading off for this inaugural of the connector.
Right.
From BKC to Marine Drive. It's very good that they want the vintage cars, a few vintage cars which they have basically selected, and they say, okay, we want to have this done through the vintage cars, this run.
Yeah.
So this inauguration. So we are very fortunate for all the support from the Maharashtra government, from the tourism body. So it's a great initiative and a great support from all.
Yeah.
That makes the event a success.
Correct. And it's great for us because as the coastal road keeps opening up, we get access to these roads to enjoy
Especially
our cars.
you on this Sunday mornings, you're always driving in one of your beauties.
Absolutely.
So it will be definitely a treat, to drive one day with you and
Correct.
make more of Buggy Khana a big success.
No, absolutely. Thank you for that. And, I think the way that they've selected the cars, I think the interesting part is that the cars that are going on this drive would have been part of the history of Mumbai as well, right?
Absolutely.
So they would have seen the earlier roads, they would have seen the whole transition of the whole roadways.
Absolutely. And one more special note for this event today, and we are celebrating 120 years of the Rolls-Royce.
Okay.
So we have 28 Rolls-Royces over here in the show.
Right.
And it's just fantastic, the response. We are celebrating 100 years of Packard, 100 years of MG Motors.
Right.
So we are really grateful for all the owners to support and bring all their cars in large numbers.
Right.
And we can see all the cars are in immaculate condition.
Absolutely. And not only looks-wise, but they're all running. Most of them have
Absolutely,
been
all
driven
are
here.
running, and all have come here on road.
Correct.
They have just been driven, and everybody is waiting to drive and participate in large numbers every year.
Right.
You see the restoration.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
No,
Even for the
absolutely gorgeous.
judges, it becomes so difficult
Yeah.
to judge each and every car today.
So how does that judging work in this sort of an event?
So,
What are the categories that you are looking at?
So the main category is Concours. That's like the best of the show. Concours d'Elegance for vintage cars. Concours d'Elegance for classic cars. Then you have the best maintained car
Right.
category. You have the best restoration class
Right.
and best preserved class. So everybody is doing their best, preserving their cars, or,
Right.
restoring it, and they bring it for the show, and it encourages them. It kind of motivates everyone. Enjoy and do whatever they love.
Correct.
So it's just the passion for a car owner, for a vintage car lover. It's his passion that really makes everything grow.
I also saw, a lot of cars from the Pranlal Bhogilal collection.
That's right.
A very important collector in India. I mean, again, growing up as a young child, one used to hear stories about a person who owned more than 100 cars, and it was like world records, and I'm sure he's got many more than that. But also the quality of cars that they have.
Absolutely, it's fantastic. Pranal Bhai is the founder of the Vintage and Classic Car Club of India, and he is India's largest collector of vintage cars.
Right.
The family is protecting and preserving their cars, and they are taking it as a project and restoring each and every car.
Right.
So you can see three amazing beauties. You have the Phantom 3, you have the 8-liter Bentley, and you have the Rolls-Royce Silver Ghost, with the aluminium body. So these are all three very, very rare cars from Pranal Bhai's collection. You will get to see more and more cars coming out of the collection.
And his collection, not only are they rare and amazing cars, but because it's such an old collection, they've all got amazing provenance and history behind
Absolutely.
them, right?
These
It's
are
really
all very original cars with a lot of provenance.
Right.
Like you'll see a lot of new cars coming up, but the cars from Mr. Pranal Bhogilal's collection is just amazing, very historic, and it's one of the best in the world.
And just touching upon that a bit, to give an insight to our viewers, can you explain a bit about the value of provenance in history and why that is important, and why that is also valued in monetary terms significantly higher than a car that might not have that?
Monetary terms, actually, I will not be able to explain, but in terms of provenance, it has history like a style, body style, which is a very rare body style, owned by some cars which have royal, basically, connection, like even your family cars.
Right.
They have a lot of provenance, they have a lot of history. So, everybody wants to buy a car or own a car which has a very rich provenance, very rich history, different body line, different style, basically.
Right.
So that really adds value to the car. For a car owner, it's not his value, it's just what he loves. He owns that particular car. So yeah, everyone is just enjoying it. Nobody really says the value of the car or anything, but we all enjoy what we do.
Absolutely. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having me, and I shall see you on the drive.
So Rishad, welcome back.
Thank you, Pratap. Good to be here again.
This time it's the VCCI event.
Absolutely.
And, look at the turnout.
It's a little insane, the amount of people. I think we probably have about 40,000 people coming in here.
Yeah, minimum, I think.
Yeah.
It just shows that car culture is well and alive in India.
Absolutely. And I think it's getting bigger and bigger, and people are appreciating vintage and classic cars, which was, a lot of people didn't really know what they were earlier, and now they've realized that they're such beautiful pieces of art, and they want to look after it and, maintain them.
So, we have the owners who take good care of their cars, and on the other side, we have all the people who are here admiring and, future classic car owners.
Absolutely.
So it's great for the car culture. It shows how important cars, classic cars, historical cars are for India. Also highlights the fact that we need to take care of them and we need to protect them.
Absolutely. And I think the government should work towards reducing import duties on cars, so more cars come into India. I think reduce the price on the import duties for parts, which will all enhance and help in restoring and bringing these cars back to life.
Correct. Absolutely. That would be great. So let's start with this one, this gorgeous car. Another one from Johan's stable.
Yeah, it's such a
Originally-
state.
Yeah.
I believe this car has also won quite a few prizes, and she's just a gorgeous car.
Yeah.
And again, I believe these are the Grebel hunting lights, which they used to use during back in the day.
Correct.
And she's just a timeless piece.
I also like the way that the crests have been hand painted on the sides. Something that really, in my opinion, adds value, especially to these cars that have a connection with the earlier princely states.
Absolutely.
It really brings it out, and it really looks amazing as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've been doing the same on all your cars as well.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I've been doing this, and as I restore cars, once they're in restoration, I normally have the crest done when the car is through paint,
yeah.
just
So it's-
prior to the clear coat coming
Yeah.
on.
So it's in the lacquer itself.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is Silver Ghost of Mr. Yash Roya,
Yeah.
who's the Honorary Secretary of the VCCI. Again, Yash has been collecting cars left, right, and center. He's built quite a beautiful collection of cars.
Correct.
I believe there are approximately, he's probably got over 100 cars now, all different sizes, shapes, models, and I think he's doing a fabulous job
No,
collecting
absolutely.
him and his dad, and they've been pushing things and getting things sorted out.
Yeah,
As you can see, there's 1, 2, 3 of theirs right here,
yeah. And there's a Bentley.
and five of them in one row, all his cars. So
Lovely.
it's a beautiful Mark 6. Again, beautiful car.
I like the color on this car.
Yeah.
The two shades of blue
Absolutely.
really seem to go well. Also the interior,
Yeah,
the cream
absolutely.
interior is quite nice. It really
So-
works.
Mr. Hormanji Kama, let me tell you a little about him. He is one person who uses his car every single day. He doesn't use a modern car. He only uses it when he has to, but otherwise he uses his vintage and classic cars every single day.
Right.
You'll see it parked outside the Bombay Samachar building, the red building, the iconic building at Ornament Circle, and you
Right.
always see one of his cars standing right there, and you know which car he's used and which car he's taken out.
And that he's there.
And that he's there. We make sure that he's working.
No, but that's again, so important because that just keeps the cars running better.
Absolutely.
And that's how he's able to do that as well.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's brilliant.
And he's a true enthusiast. He's been collecting cars ever since I was a child, and he drives the cars. Most people don't know, but he has one eye that he can't see through, and he's got one ear that he can't hear out of. But it does not matter. He still drives the cars, and he proudly says, "I can't see half the side of the car, and I can't hear anything, so it doesn't make a difference to me."
I think him and me have something in common then. And here, this is the Bentley that we were speaking about,
Yeah.
but unfortunately we were not able to cover it very well in our last episode.
That's right. This is Mr. Jagdish Thakasi's Bentley.
Yeah.
Again, I told you it was a French-bodied Bentley. It's a beautiful car.
Yeah.
And she's just gorgeous. Restored by Marispand Dadachanji, who is
He's one of the
again,
top restorers in the country.
and he's been, he has the pride of getting quite a few of these cars restored and showcasing them all over the world. So, yeah,
Another, spectacular job. What a gorgeous looking car.
absolutely.
So I think these two again in great spec. Both I think belong to Gotham.
Yes, absolutely.
From what I
So Gautam
No.
has been doing a great job picking up a lot of cars from all over the world, and I think he's been showcasing a lot of his cars, and I think he set up the Supercar Garage, and he's also brought restoration, which he's trying to do as per world standards, and
Yeah.
I think he's been roping in the government also to help promote it.
Good.
So I
Good.
think that's a good thing to do.
Good, much needed. Look at the interior on this. I don't think this would be factory.
No, it's not, but I believe they've done a job trying to get the Rolls-Royce Spirit of Ecstasy on the seats.
Yeah. So again, some people like to go back to spec sheets and the build
Absolutely.
sheet.
Yeah.
And some don't care about that, I guess. Each to his own, but at the same time, look at how nice it looks.
Absolutely. They're all coming together really nicely, and
Yeah.
we have Amir's car again over here.
Yeah. Gorgeous.
We have some very nice artists out here who've come here, and they're doing amazing art as well.
Oh, lovely.
So
So when did you start doing this?
In life?
I mean, specifically cars.
No, we've just come for the event. We're a group called Urban Sketchers.
Okay,
So we go to locations within Mumbai every weekend.
right.
So last year also we came with a
Yeah.
vintage car.
So what do you do with these paintings?
This is just a hobby.
It's just personal for yourself. Okay, well, you're doing a good job.
Thank you.
yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
Beautiful. This is also Mr. Kama's Rolls Royce. Yeah. And in fact, I believe that one is his too as well.
Okay. How many does he have?
He's got quite a few as well.
Quite a few.
Mr. Hormaji Kama has some of the finest cars. He's got the 500K, the Mercedes 500K. He's got a whole bunch of Rolls Royces, Bentleys, and all possible brands, makes, models.
Right.
And he uses them every single day. Come heat, rain, sunshine, doesn't matter. You'll see him driving his cars. You'll see him passing Marine Drive in his car. So it's
That's the argument I have with my father. Which he finds ridiculous that I don't take the cars out when it's raining. He just laughs at me.
well, you want to preserve them. They want to use them.
Yeah, I guess. Okay, Rishad, so another segment, but let's start it off with this gorgeous Fiat.
So this Fiat belongs to Mr. Cyrus Dabar. His dad was a pioneer in getting the vintage Fiat movement started in India. I think he and Roni together started the Fiat Club of Bombay, and I think it's just taken off. And people, a lot of today's generation, they've grown up with the Fiats, right? So they understand them, and suddenly there's this huge explosion of all youngsters wanting to own Fiats because they've seen it. It's been in their lifetime before some of the older cars, which they don't understand.
Correct.
You know?
No, plus the shape, I mean, it's especially this one, it's a very appealing and attractive shape, one that puts a grin to your face. And, to get a car with suicide doors.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, it's a Rolls Royce, right?
Absolutely. People don't actually realize the reason why they also had suicide doors.
So what was that?
Well, when your brakes failed, they'd open the door and put their feet down.
Straight out of the Flintstones.
I'm just kidding. That's not. It was a sure sign of suicide.
Yeah, but lovely.
You have a beautiful Morris Minor here, Nishikant Raut. So he has a beautiful Ford Model A as well, and which he uses proudly all over Bombay again. He's someone who uses his cars as well. You have some beautiful Mercedes out here.
So when we talk about Mercedes, for me, the 126 is the one I love.
The 126 is very iconic. It's a beautiful car, the W126. They came in different engine sizes, and they're just
no, look at the shape.
Yeah,
And
it's a legacy.
This again takes me back to my youth because I remember my father had one. It was a 280S, a silver color. He had bought it from, I think, a friend of the family. Again, Sukhwant Singh Babbar, who those days had an amazing collection of cars. I remember the number plate also to be, I think, MAP 20, if I'm not mistaken,
Wow.
if I recollect. And
You
I
should try
just,
and maybe find it. if you
yeah, I
can.
mean, I don't know where it is, but I just love the shape. And you know, it's again, the driving is very similar to the 190Es of that time. You know, the feel that you get.
Yeah.
So great car.
Much more comfortable though. I mean,
Yeah, I mean S-Class. So
yeah.
from a time when dictators were very much
Exactly.
in vogue. After that, this is another car that I've kind of lusted after for a long time.
So this actually is a very special car. It's
Yeah.
a 108 with, I believe it's the only 4.5 liter V8 in India.
Right.
And it has been bought by Samit Hede. And I actually kind of found him this car.
Thanks, Rishad.
Well, I didn't know you wanted it, but what can I say? So yeah, it is a beautiful car, no question about it.
Yeah, no, it's lovely. You know, this is such an elegant shape. You know, I just love the lines on this car. It's just gorgeous.
You know, what a lot of people don't realize is it's not only about the car and the shape and how these cars were built and looked after, but after 50 and 60 years, you have to do a ground-up restoration on these cars. Unfortunately, Indian roads were so bad
Yeah.
that when you remove the subframe of these cars, you realize that the entire body monocoque
Right.
has got cracks in them because of constant hammering
On the roads.
on our Indian roads and things like that.
Yeah.
I really
Yeah.
wish our roads would improve and things like that, which would.
But they are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a huge change happening, but it'll make driving these cars so much more pleasurable.
Yeah. Yep.
So I believe this Dodge is Manish Kothari's. Manish again is a regular at most of the events, and every Sunday he drives these cars and things like that. So yeah, they're all
Nice. I like the color as well. Nice. Yellow.
Yeah.
This is another one that we must not overlook. Again, one from our youth.
absolutely the famous 118 NE
Yeah.
with the Boyce father and son team. We have one of them standing right behind and he's smiling away. Maybe we should get him to say a few words about his car.
Hi, welcome to Bagikana.
Hi, how are you? Good to see you.
So, you know, we couldn't help but stop here because, again, this one takes us back to our youth. You know, the floor shift gears.
Right.
And I remember the
Nissan
noise.
gear shift.
Yeah.
The noise it used to make.
The
And it was
Nissan
like trying to
engine
push
with a screaming fan.
It was great fun. I drove this car a lot, and again, those days, it was even sort of a sporty feeling
Absolutely.
car for us.
So if these
in
cars
those
were
days.
built right, they made great racing and rally cars actually at that time because there was nothing else available, right?
Yeah.
So
Very true. So how long have you had this one?
I just got it recently. That was in last year, July.
Okay, so
And it was bad, but to bring it to this position just now, had to give it a sealant coat and everything. Mechanically, she's okay.
Yeah.
She's not perfect. She's okay because the car was idle for last 4 years.
so what
Lucky to
made
get it.
you want to buy this one?
I remember Dad racing in the same similar model. This is a 1989.
Right.
But Dad had a 1991, and he used to race in that.
Okay.
So as a kid, I remember that car in the same similar color. I was on a lookout for this similar color as well.
Right.
So luckily got an MH car back. That is how we got it over, and to give my childhood memories to my son further on.
Yeah.
So with that is the reason
I mean, that's such a familiar story,
Right.
and it's the same for all of us, right?
Exactly.
It's the cars of our youth that we're so sort of drawn towards. So
I remember driving my, as a kid again, as I'm saying, 3-4 years old, my grandpa used to take me on his lap in his Fiat Elegant.
yeah.
That car we still have it. So
Right.
I said now Dad's car has to come back as a memory.
Good.
So he used to race in this, as I'm saying, he used to race, brought it back to same specs, trying to build it up. We'll maybe strip her down in the next 2 years and all.
Lucky to have you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I don't know
Thank
if you
you.
know, but your last name is very famous and very well known in the vintage and classic car circles. The Boyce name
Yeah,
was the
yeah.
Boyce motor meters.
Absolutely.
They were the temperature gauges and all kind of measuring apparatus which were done back in the day. So,
Right, true.
well, it's a very famous name, so we can't forget it.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
sir.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you.
So Arnav, firstly,
Hi.
welcome to the Buggy Khana.
Hello, sir.
So tell me, you mentioned that there's something very unique about this car. So what is it?
I own this car last 12 years. This car comes from Kolhapur, and the previous owner was 91 years old when I took this delivery of this car.
Okay.
And it's been in the family since 1971. And
Right.
when I got the car, the whole family came down and they were like crying and all, and it was a prize possession for them. So I wanted to keep it stocked since so many years. But last year I got the ground restoration done, so it's complete now. And it's, everything is pin to pin, the original color and everything, So
So I mean, that just shows you, right, the story that you mentioned about the whole family coming
Yeah,
down
yeah.
and being very emotional. You
Yeah.
know, it shows that how important cars are.
Yeah.
In our lives. I mean, they're
I
not
agree.
just always a mode of transportation
Exactly,
only.
sir. More than a car, it was like a family to them right now.
Yeah.
So
Because there's so many memories attached,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Growing up, you're going
Exactly.
places.
Yeah, exactly,
So when
sir.
you think about the car or you think about your memories, somewhere that car is sort of driving
Yes,
around
sir.
in there.
So the small things. He had a lot of moments with this car. So he told me about the special accessories what he has put in this car.
Right.
It's an Italian, basically like a music system cover on this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've not
So,
seen this.
so this was the special Italian accessories which came with the car, original
Right.
thing, and the small stuff what he had. Like now, this was completely faded, so I bought it from Italy and got it restored, everything.
What is that thing? I've never seen that.
This is for the radio. What in the Italian model, which used to come in 1100.
In those days?
In those days, but he had imported this thing from Italy.
Okay.
And he was also a spare part dealer in Kolhapur.
Right.
So that's what's.
Very nice. Clean and nice.
Yeah, it's-
Love this. Love the dashboard as well.
Yes, sir.
Just-
And you need to see the engine bay and everything.
Yeah.
We tried to.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Come.
So for me right now, it's just been 1 month. I had restored this car.
When did you have it restored?
Restored last month. It came.
Where?
I restored it at Amzad and Harvey's place.
Where? In Bombay?
In Bombay, Baikala.
Okay.
So only thing what I wanted is basically this windshield washer, which I've just changed,
Yeah.
and I got a mechanical pump because it's easy for a day-to-day drive.
Right. And how often do you use her? How often will you be using?
So in last 1 month, I got attended in a couple of events right now, and every Sunday we go,
Okay.
We have a group where we go.
Lovely.
Thank you.
So thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
sharing this with us.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. So Rashad, the Volkswagens and these two iconic models, the Beetle and the
Absolutely.
camper van.
So this
right?
camper van, which belongs to the Shirke family, it's actually the whole family. The father, Sangram Shirke, and his two boys with his lovely wife. They drive these cars pan India. They take them all over. They've done the Himalayan run. They've, if you can see, officially there's a whole group of our friends who drives pan India, and these are all the badges of all the drives that have been done. And they actually use and enjoy these cars, taking them all over the country.
And this is what it was built for, right?
Absolutely. So it was, it's been fun, and we've all used these cars, and these are memories, and we can never forget them.
Yeah. I mean, again, this one had, it wasn't this one like this. It was more the regular one. My uncle from Sawantwadi, he used to have one in that
Okay.
iconic white with the blue
Yeah.
sort of decals on it. And again, that's a memory that is in my head forever.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't forget these
You
cars,
can't.
right?
Now this one, I mean, it's just who doesn't like one of these, right? I mean,
Yeah, the
it's just
VW
again,
Bug,
the Bug,
the famous Bug.
the Bug, Herbie.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
got so many stories growing up.
Absolutely.
The shape of the car. Again, I've always wanted one of these and come close to getting one a couple of times, but it just hasn't happened. But
I'm sure it will at the right time.
yeah, it's again one of those things.
Yeah.
It just happens, and
They're actually really fun to drive. So these are air-cooled, rear engine air-cooled,
Yeah.
and they're really fun to drive, easy cars. And, there were millions of these made. So, they were manufactured, if I'm not mistaken, in Brazil up
Yeah.
to maybe a few years ago. I mean,
Yeah.
that's when they
Absolutely.
stopped the production of these cars. But otherwise, and parts available everywhere and things like that.
again,
So-
when I was in school in England, my guardians who I used to stay with, they used to have a Rolls Royce. They had a 5 Series BMW, and they had an orange one of these.
And did you sneak it out everywhere?
No, I was too young, but the orange Beetle was the one that used to sort of drop me to the train station and pick me up from the airport.
Wow.
So again, fond memories.
Yeah.